Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 4v4 match on the map Rivers Wild. I'm playing in the top left hand position and I'm playing as the Allies. In this game we were on random positions, so we're going to be spread out in different locations across the map. And there are some quite good players in this game, so I am going to need to have my wits about me. Now, from the start, what I saw that Pink, played by Matthews, who's quite a good player, is located directly below me to the south, so I'm not going to have to worry about that position too much. What I am going to do though is I'm going to protect the top of my base and also to the right. You can see this map has quite a lot of ridges, so it sometimes can make it quite awkward to manoeuvre around the map. And the ore patches all have gems around them, so one of the important things I'm going to need to do early game is I'm going to need to focus on mining those gems. And you can see there's that route into the top of my base, and you can see the opponent there was going straight for that route, because quite often people will leave that unguarded, and it's quite a good way on this map to get into your opponent's base early on, get a bit of visibility on what they're going to be doing. But in this scenario it's not going to work. Right, and you can see said there's some infantry from the right there, which are just getting fired down on me by me early on. Now, what I'm only going to build, usually what I do in this situation maybe, is build two ore trucks and then get get two ore factories straight away. But in this situation, I'm only going to get one ore truck, and the reason is my opponent is located quite close to me. And if I'm not careful, if they do an early attack, I will be very vulnerable early on. So it's quite important in these scenarios maybe just to focus on mining gems. And if you mine gems, it doesn't really affect your economy too much. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting that second war factory down, as you can see now. And I'm going to build a power plant just so I can keep up my power. And then I'm going to build my second ore refinery. Construction complete. And as you can see, it's been quite well. I'm getting my first tanks out. There's been no infantry rushes. At the start, I probably should have got a bit more visibility to the right earlier on, because I would have been quite vulnerable there if he had decided to do an infantry rush. And as you can see, I've transitioned to mediums, just because they have more HP. And as you can see, we've got Pink down below me. I'm just going to keep an eye out, because I think there's going to be an attack. I'm going to have a fight with Orange quite early on. And I'm getting down that second ore refinery down in a sec. And we can see that Green have made an attack on Pink, so I'm going to have to go and help Pink here. But what I'm going to do is I'm only going to take 4 tanks, because I have to be very aware Orange is played by RS Cupcake, who's quite a good player, and he'll take that opportunity to attack me if I take all my tanks down here. So I'm just taking a few tanks, and Pink seems like he had some tanks further north. He might have been defended by someone else. He's also got a Tesla coil now, which is going to do a lot of damage to Green's tanks. So we're getting rid of some of Green's buildings here. We've got down one war factory. We might go for the construction yard. Actually, I think we're going to need to fight some of these tanks here. And we'll go for that war factory, which Pink is helping destroy there. And we can see that Orange has made an attack on Pink. I think what I'm going to need to do in this scenario is attack Orange, actually, because Orange, I think, has only taken a couple of tanks down there, and I think his main force is going to be at his base. Yes. So what I think Orange is trying to do there is he's trying to get me to go south and defend Pink, and when I go to defend Pink, what Orange does is he goes to the left and goes into my base and destroys it. So yeah, I had no choice there. I had to go for Orange there. I knew he had, because when I saw him he had about 3 tanks I think in Pink's base, and as I say, Orange is quite a good player, so I knew he was going to have a lot more tanks than that available. And this fight is just, you can see I'm moving around and shooting, and it's looking good for me. I also hold down the Q button, it keeps the tanks firing on the same target and allows me to move around while doing that. And this is looking very good at the moment. It looks like we've got this fight anyway won. But as you know, this is a 4v4 match, so we need to look at other opponents across the map. It's going well here, but we don't know what's happening at the other side so far. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of war factories, we're trying to get rid of ore refineries, that's the thing. And it's looking really good for us so far. Because, yeah, we're going to take that war factory, that second war factory away from Orange, so we can no longer build any tanks. And, yeah, you can see we're just going for damage. We're getting, it'll be low on power right at the moment as well, so it'll be slow at building back up. And we'll take this last ore refinery out, and that'll be pretty much a good game for Orange, because he won't be able to... He's unlikely, I think, to have the money to be able to build that back. And now we'll go for his construction yard just to make sure. And there his construction yard is gone. And it appears actually at the same time my construction yard. So what? Oh, you can see Orange there. What he's done is he's taken his tanks, which have destroyed Pink, and he's taken them up to my base. And you can see now he's trying to get rid of that ore refinery, but I don't think it's going to go down. I mean, that ore refinery isn't too much of a biggie for me. It's not too important. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to send these tanks back, and I'm going to keep a few at my base just to help defend. And you can see that Green is coming up on the attack now. He's got 3 tanks left. I don't know. He must have built another war factory, because I remember we destroyed both of his war factories earlier. And we're just taking that. We've got enough tanks here to defend, and we're looking okay at the moment. And you can see he's got those tanks, and you can see Orange has got a tank up there as well. And I think they're going to get that ore refinery down, but my next ore refinery should be okay. But I need to be very, very careful at the moment, because I've lost my construction yard. I'm not going to be able to build any further buildings through this game. So I am going to need to be very, very careful, because just losing any building at this point could be quite detrimental. And I can tell you what might have been better for them to do is actually go for my small power plants. Because if they got rid of my power plants, I'd have no power, and my tank building speed would be very, very slow. And this game is by no means over, and we can see that Purple are there, they're on the other team as well. And we can see that Green have been fighting obviously to the right, so they've probably been attacking another team there. So it still is wide open, but it looks like we've got overwhelming numbers here. We're going to get that Tesla coil down, and that Tesla coil was quite well placed, because it was behind his tanks and where you should place. And you can see he is placing his Tesla coils right back, so I'm having to move, and his tanks are doing quite a lot of damage in them. At the moment, it looks like we're going to get that second war factory, and he's not going to be able to build any more. But this is dangerous now. Purple is going up towards my base, so I'm going to need to defend this. You can see I haven't got many tanks at home, and I'm just going to need sending all my tanks back to my base right now. So this is going to be a very important fight, and we're going to really hope that Purple stays and fights, and he is. It looks like he's not going for my structures, which is going to give me time to get my tanks back from Green's base back to my base. So we were very lucky there. He could have gone. He looks like he's going for my war factory. As I say, I probably would go for the power plants at the moment, because that war factory has got quite a lot of HP. And it looks like Purple's going to run out of tanks, and because I have got overwhelming numbers. So what Purple could have done at that position is gone straight for both my power plants, and once those small power plants were done, then I would be on very low power, and I wouldn't be able to really build anything very quickly at all. I'd have loads of ore, but I wouldn't be able to build anything very fast. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just getting a bit more visibility around my base, just so I can see any sneak attacks coming from other parts of the map, if some players try and sneak some tanks around. So far we know that Orange are dead. We know that Green is pretty much dead. He's only got a couple of tanks left, and he can't build any more. And we can see that Purple is to my right. We don't know how Blue's doing in the other part of the map at the moment. And we can see that Red is sending a couple of tanks over. So yeah, what we're going to need to do is defend here. And we can see that Purple's coming out of his base. And that's very, very good for us, because we want to fight Purple outside his base. We don't want him to stay in his base and have to go through that Tesla coil with his tanks in front. And we're just going to take that tank out. It got a bit out of position, and hopefully, and this is what we want at the moment. Now you can see that Purple's got a mix of heavy tanks and mammoth tanks. Anyone who's seen my mammoth tank video will know I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're very expensive and they don't have very much, yeah, they are overpriced, I do feel. And you can see they go quite down quite easily when you've got a large number of medium tanks. So they haven't really been very effective there. And I need to be careful here because he's got that Tesla coil in a pretty good position. Tanks in front, Tesla coil behind makes a very difficult combination to beat. And that's the reason I'm going to go to the other side of his base and see if I can get in more easily there. And we can see he's got a lot of rocket men, probably to defend from planes maybe. And we can see he's got a Tesla coil there. Now what he should have done is he should have moved his tanks in front of that Tesla coil. It was a bit too far forward and that's made it very easy to destroy. Because Tesla coils do a lot of damage, but they're not very effective without tank backup because they do go down quite easily. They do have very low HP. And you can see he's got another Tesla coil there. It possibly could have been done with being a bit further back to the north, because I was still in range of it there. But he did have his tanks there, so it did provide a little bit more benefit than the one he had earlier. And this is looking very, very good for me at the moment. I think probably the problem with purple was he was probably a bit too passive early on and probably needed to be a bit aggressive. Although I don't know because I didn't see if he was fighting with anyone. But he could have probably helped green a little bit earlier. And if he'd gone up and attacked me, it might have given green a bit better of a chance. But yeah, we're looking in a quite good position. And it all depends on what blue's position is at the moment, because that's the other member of their team. And I have to be careful there because I clicked select all. And I've actually taken those tanks into his base by accident through the Tesla coil, so I might have lost a tank or two there. Oh, and those tanks will come in there were probably located further back in my base at the time. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all my tanks back to the front, and I'm gonna try and destroy that Tesla coil because it is providing a bit of a nuisance.
Unit ready. Building.
And what's important in these situations sometimes is try to get the job done quickly as possible. Because we haven't seen much from Cyan, who's on our team, and we haven't seen much from Blue on the other team, so I'm guessing they're fighting together. And sometimes you're on like a little bit of a timer, because if Cyan does get beat, we wouldn't be able to defend at this point very much because we're tied up with purple. And you can see that Tesla coil was placed a bit too far forward, so I was able to be on top of it straight away. But yeah, you always want to get fights done sooner rather than later because you don't know what's going on in other parts of the map. And we can see from what Red's been saying that he's pretty much done. I think he must have lost probably his construction yard and maybe his ore refineries as well. And you can see, I think this game with purple, the fight against purple, is pretty much over now. Yeah, we can see we've got his power plants there. We've got his Tesla coils, his war factory. But he hasn't got much to fight with anymore. We'll get rid of that war factory, which will get rid of his any tanks he's going to be producing. And we're going to go for a few power plants. You can see he's going for a flamethrower there. And we'll just get rid of that construction yard so he can't build anything else. And we're going to get rid of his barracks now. And that stops his infantry production as well. So it's he's pretty much done now, and he'll probably sell up soon. Unless he's got another base somewhere else, which he could have at this stage. But you can see he's selling away. And we can see that Cyan is coming from the top of my base. So the aim now is to find out where on earth is Blue. I actually can't see him anywhere at the moment, actually. And we can see that Red's there. You can see, as we supposed, he's got no ore refinery. He's probably not got no construction yard as well. And we can see that Blue is there, actually. He's got one single ore silo. So that is good game, because we could see that Green earlier, I know he's still alive, but he's pretty much got nothing left. So we'll destroy that ore silo. And now Blue is out of the game. And we can see that Green's actually there. He's actually blocked both my ore refineries, so I won't be getting any ore. But yeah, and pretty much all we did now is we went and destroyed Green's base at the other side of the map. Well, Cyan did anyway, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind it forward. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.